in terms of hunger, of course, always hungry, but you don't really understand that you're hungry. You just understand this is a normal feeling. I remember being utterly humiliated. My mom did get a small part-time job working at my elementary school as a noon duty and lunch aide, and she would go through the trash cans in front of everyone, all of my peers, looking to feed me. And I recognize now as an adult that must have been hard for her too. But at the time, it's a status symbol for a kid to be able to throw away food, to be able to walk in and oh, I'm not hungry, I'm gonna go to recess. Why? Because there's food when they get home. And so to have that experience, then you become the butt of a lot of jokes, and you become picked on, and the popular people call you a dog. And I have it written in my yearbooks, and I have things saying, "Hey, dumpster diver, I know where you can find another meal in the summer. See you next year." So, that takes a toll, and it teaches you to learn shame, the shame of poverty, before you are old enough to have an understanding even of what it is. So I know for a fact that without the resources of the food bank, without being able to go to a food pantry, I wouldn't have eaten. The boxes that showed up on our doorstep from time to time as a kid, I don't know where that was coming from, but then I learned where it was coming from. I remember holiday times that, my mom would try to make up some story about, why we don't eat turkey, or why we don't, and why we weren't going to have anything this year, and why, we're doing a special fast this year for Christmas to remember Jesus, so we shouldn't gorge ourselves with food. And then suddenly some food would appear, and maybe we would have a turkey, and so that was confusing but surprising, but good but bad, but a really awkward experience.
Hoping you could be a catcher in the rye.
Yeah. It's interesting, things that are so seemingly simple to many people, i.e., my child shows great promise as a basketball player. I'm going to get him signed up for sports, and we're going to get him some new shoes, and we're going to get him on the middle school basketball team. Well, you know what that takes? That takes being able to pay for a sports physical. That takes being able to be insured and be able to cover a copay. That takes being able to pay possibly for a uniform. That takes the activities fee. That takes being able to get shoes for your child. My very first pair of brand new shoes, they were purple and they were white, and they were bought for me by my 6th grade teacher. So these are things that a lot of people don't even consider. And so then what happens? Well, kiddo maybe doesn't get to go and try out for the sports team because of financial hardship at home. If they can't eat, you certainly can't expect them to play and be healthy. And with low blood sugar all the time, are they going to grow? It just doesn't, that math doesn't work. And so in this clinic space, hopefully I'll be able to provide sports physicals, whether or not they can pay, which will get people off of being latchkey kids, and maybe go discover a talent and be supported by adults and help them find a way to, again, make it full circle, be able to contribute to their family, to their community, etc. But I am dead set certain that it is our responsibility as adults to be that, to notice the kids in need, and to reach out and be that helping hand, and be a pillar, be stationary, be the one that says, I am here when you need me. I'm not chasing you, but you won't have to chase me. I will be here. And it was about 11 p.m. and we were making our standard trip to the dumpster behind C-Mart, which at that time was a one full-service grocery store. If you got there before 11 o'clock, you could get the day-old bread, the rotting produce, and it was set beside the dumpster. After that, they had to go ahead and load it into the dumpster, making retrieval a little bit more difficult, but I was a small one, so, up and in you go. One day when I was, 19 or so, 20, I'd started taking a couple college courses at a local community college, and I thought, well, I could be a CNA. And then I thought, well, maybe I could be a surgical tech. If that means I could be in the OR and I could be exposed to that, gosh, wouldn't that be neat? And then the next day I thought, well, maybe I could be a nurse. And eventually, I think a year went by, and I woke up one morning and out loud I said, Robin, what the hell is wrong with you? Just try it. And then, the rest is history. I'm, of course, drowning in student loans because there's no such thing as, saving for your child's education when you can't even put food on the table. But here I am, still a nerd. What I would like to tell members of the community is that I guarantee you that within their closest circle of friends, that there is hunger, that there is a lack of food security, that if there are children for whom it is normal not to know where the next meal is coming from. It is normal to them not to eat at home, but to eat only at school. It is normal to go to a neighbor's house or to spend extra time playing at the neighbor's house in hopes that you will eat because it's not available at home. And that those faces are ones that don't match what is in our mind. They're not the dirty and disheveled. They are well kept. They are clean. They are hungry. And there's shame that we as a society have placed on poverty. And as if a child or as if even an adult deserves to be in a place of hunger, as if they've done something bad in their life that warrants punishment through starvation. And I don't understand that. And just maybe to open your mind, open your heart, and be more, this is not going to come out right, to, I guess, accept what I am telling you is a truth, and don't fall into the easy trap of saying, oh, this doesn't exist in my world, this doesn't exist in my circle. Because just because you don't recognize the signs or symptoms outwardly does not mean that it's not there. Just like an illness. Just because you don't have a horrible abdominal pain or nausea and vomiting all of the time does not mean that there's not an underlying something brewing. It doesn't always match what we think it should look like. It's pretty on the outside, but sometimes really ugly on the inside. It's, to me, medicine in general and being a physician is a sacred thing. It's not a job. And so just being able to take care of people, to be trusted for no reason other than my title, that's something that is bewildering and humbling. So I feel like I really need to do well by people. It is super special to me to be able to practice in Mountain View because this is the neighborhood and nearby where I grew up. These are, my former schoolmates. These are the parents and children of my schoolmates, and we're all Alaskans, and we're unique in and of ourselves just by being Alaskans, but there's something extra special about Mountain View because it's the most diverse community in the entire nation, ergo perhaps the entire world. We had a service activity, a youth service activity at my church at one point, where we went and we went to a food pantry and we helped put together boxes, packages for meals to be delivered to families. And I realized that I probably boxed one of my own meals, and it didn't occur to me until years later. But I'm here being of service. I'm contributing to the community. I'm doing what God wants us to do. And lo and behold, days later, here's a really similar box that shows up on our doorstep. So that's a striking memory because it does not take much for you to end up on the other side of that food line. It takes one illness. It takes one family emergency. It takes, an earthquake. And then what? Suddenly you're homeless. And it can happen in a heartbeat. So I think just, treating others as you would like to be treated, putting yourself in another's shoes, trying to increase your empathy muscle, if you will. And it goes both ways, for sure. But that would be my... so it took me, until I was maybe 17 to realize that bananas don't naturally have polka dots. Did you know that? They're even green to begin with. but that's the quality of food that many people throw away. And why? This is still edible, this is good food, this is nutritious. This is something that could be shared. Okay, so you don't like polka dotted bananas. Guess what? Someone needs them. And so be willing to donate to a pantry, be willing to serve, be willing to, even if it's just within your community, if you don't have access to transportation to drop off food at a pantry, if you don't have that, ask. Send something home with another child, take it to work. I guarantee you work with people who are hungry. Just because they're getting a paycheck does not mean that there is food security. It does not mean that there is savings. It doesn't mean that the parents of the household are not eating that night, that they're not taking turns deciding who eats. That's normal in a lot of households. People in poverty are not able often to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you're focused on your basic needs, and your basic needs are food and shelter. And we become basic human beings when that's the need that's right in front of us. So of course people are going to engage in more desperate acts. Of course people are going to want to escape the mental anguish and look for solutions at the bottom of a bottle or at the end of a needle. That unfortunately is part of human nature. But again, that comes back to being part of the community and being a lighthouse and being the one who is not going to be judgmental, who is not going to make you feel shame for your state in life, for your position, for your lack of food, for your lack of money, for your lack of resources, and blame you for that. But being able to be there. If you have people who are telling you that you are worthless, they're calling you names, they are saying you'll never make it, they're calling you fat, they're anything that is making you feel less, ignore them. Because the only reason they are saying that is because they do not feel good about themselves. This is not a reflection on you. You are a powerful soul and you have barely begun to scratch the surface. There is light in you that you do not even know. And if you tell me, oh, Dr. Ninefeldt, I'm coming from, you don't know the situation, try me. And if I don't know, teach me. And I guarantee you work, you keep your head down, you shut out the people who are trying to drag your spirit down into the depths, and you will succeed. And you will be the one flying above them, and then you will be the example to them. Kids go through this awkward period where they're the outsider to begin with. And so you add even having a zit on your chin, and it's the end of the world. But try having a zit and being hungry and knowing that you smell because you don't have shampoo. And so you might have a bar of soap, or who knows if you have water at your home. If you live in a home, are you living in your car? Are you sleeping on someone's couch? A normal situation when lack of security becomes normal for you. growing out of that is rough, and I will admit I am one who I get nervous still when I feel that there's a bit of stability, because I wonder, where's the shoe gonna drop? Even though I know intellectually, okay, I have a bit of a safety net now, and I have people now who love me, who if I did run out of food, they would feed me. If I was stranded somewhere, that they would come to me, but I have to remind myself of that. Whereas many people are born with a great support system. And, I would just call my brother, I would call such and such. And it doesn't exist for more people than you would think. And I went there, and I went to Arrowhead Trailer Park, and I saw my old house, my old home, and I wept for the little girl who was there, but I also rejoiced because I didn't realize at the time the direness of the situation, and my ability to escape into the woods and to play in the woods and to play in the water, and the healing forces that exist within Alaska in and of itself. Protecting children, honestly, if you think of Alaska as a living creature, and I kind of do. But Alaska nurtured me when my mom was unable to nurture me with nutrition and with emotional support. So I went back there applying for a job, and I saw that trailer, and I thought, holy cow, and I wept, and then I got angry, and then I may or may not have offered a one-fingered salute to said trailer house, and then went up and looked at a house that was newer, that actually overlooked that trailer park. And I just thought, full circle. I would walk over to the elementary school where I was attending Scenic Park, and I would hop into the back of that dumpster to see if there was anything there. And people that I went to school with would ride up on their bikes and find me there. So I would hide inside, but at some point you have to climb out. And so then the mockery would be there. I am certain that they, if they recall their comments now, I'm certain they would feel horrible. They're good people.